The purpose of this video is to show you how to use Structorizer, NPP FTP, and the CSIS server to write the HelloWorld program in Java. So let's get started. First thing we have to do is open up a browser, and we got to download Structorizer. It's important to know how Structorizer is spelled. There's no U, well, there's only one unit. It's not Structorizer, it's Structorizer. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in Structorizer in the address bar and go to Downloads. When you click on Downloads, you can choose this Windows and Linux version. Of course, it depends if you have that. It works for Mac too. But let's just click this download latest version of Structorizer Windows Linux. And what will happen is it'll go to whatever the website is that's hosting this download, and it'll start downloading. It's small, so don't worry too much about it. It's just a zip file. So what I do is I simply take this zip file and drag it to my desktop. I'll create a directory. We can create a directory anywhere we want, a folder, and we'll call this Structorizer. And we'll just open up the zip file, and well, it looks like I could have just moved all the contents of the file into this folder. Looks like I could have just moved the folder. Takes a minute to copy all these things. Once they're copied, the application's installed. There is no installation process. So now we will get out of this here and open up Structorizer. And all I'm going to do in Structorizer is create the program HelloWorld in a Nazi-Schneiderman chart, also called an NS chart. You'll see in a minute what it looks like. We'll go into more depth on this here, but just double-click on the executable and run it, and you'll see a screen like this. And what I'm going to do is create the program HelloWorld. So I double-click on those three question marks, and then I'm going to create this HelloWorld with no spaces. That's the name of this program. When I double click on this box that has a zero or a circle with a line through it, I can put in the command for NS chart. Now, we don't have time to go into all the commands for NS charts, but in the case of the HelloWorld program, all we do is we print HelloWorld. So the way to do that is you do print, open parentheses, open quotes, HelloWorld, and then close parentheses, close quotes and close parentheses. That's all you have to do. Click OK. Now this, to save the file, you do File, Save As. I'll save it to my desktop, and I'll just save it as HelloWorld. It'll automatically save it as a .nsd file. So you can see here there is a HelloWorld.nsd file there. Now the interesting thing about Structorizer is that you can do if statements and all these other things in here, and it'll generate the code for you. To generate the Java code, you click on File, Export, Code, and you just drag down to Java and click on that, and it creates this Hello World. When you save it, it'll be helloworld.java. So now we can see here there is a helloworld.java file here. If you have Notepad++ installed, then you can open it with Notepad++, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. But you can see that in here is the Java code. So now let's go ahead and look at NPP FTP. To download Notepad++, you can go to the browser and you can click on Notepad++, and then you can go to Downloads and just download the most current version of the installer. When you install it, you'll get an icon on your desktop that looks like this. It's got a frog, I think. Yeah, it's got some kind of a frog in there. That's the That's the logo for Notepad++. I don't know why. Anyway, so when you have Notepad++ installed, then you can open this up with Notepad++. And what you can also do is you can access the CSIS server. And let me show you how that's done. So let's just click on this icon for Notepad++. Once you've got it installed, you can do that. And you'll go to Plugins, NPP FTP, Show NPP FTP window. If this is not clicked, this sidebar window is gone. If it is clicked, then this sidebar window is open. You click on this gear icon here, Settings. You click on that and you choose Profile Settings. And we click Profile Settings. I'll add a new one, and I'll call this one George. And I will change this connection type to SFTP because that's the connection that I need for CSIS server. And you type in csis.svsu.edu. And you type in your username. I'm typing in my username, but you're going to have to type in your own. You type in your password. And that should do the trick. When you hit enter, now there should be an option here. When I click on George, it should open up the files for my subdirectory on the CSIS server. So here you can see I've got GP Courser, I've got CS116, and so forth. Now let's suppose I want to create. So now we've shown how to do NPP FTP. This right here is NPP FTP. So the next thing we want to show is how to write this program and put it on the CSIS server. So this is the CSIS server here. I'm just going to create a folder in GP Courser called HelloWorld. So I'll do create new directory, and I'm going to call this directory HelloWorld. Boom. Now I have a directory here called HelloWorld. If I go inside of this directory, there's nothing in it. But if I want to say create new file, I can create the file helloworld.java. So now there's a file here called helloworld.java. It's important to know that the file on the CSIS server called helloworld.java is not the same file as the file here on my desktop. So let's go back to the file on my desktop and let's correct this file. Everything in here is correct except this print statement should say system.out.print, and we'll say println. I'm going to save that file. Now that is an idiosyncrasy of Structorizer. It does generally create your code, but it's not perfect, so you do have to edit it. So now I'm going to take this code that I created using Structorizer on my desktop, and I'm going to copy it into this file. All I got to do is open this file by double clicking on it. You can see it's blank. I go from this helloworld.java to the other one. I hit Control A and Control C, that copies it all, and I just paste it. I go back to the other one and click it and paste it. So I just hit Control V. I could have done paste. Paste also would work. If I do paste, that also works. So so basically I copied the code from here into here. Now they're the same. So I now have the file that was on my desktop. I now have it in the CSIS server using NPP FTP. That's a lot to think about. Anyway, so now we've shown how to make the Hello World program using Structorizer, and we've shown how to use NPP FTP. The last thing we have to do is show how to compile it on the CSIS server. So now we got to use Putty. We use Putty to access the CSIS server. If you do not have Putty, then you need to go to the web, type Putty, and you can download Putty by going to putty.org. And download Putty here. Just choose the Windows version. I would suggest downloading this putty.exe. Just click on that. If you click on that, it will download it. And then you can just run that file. If I just run it, it'll say run. And so it runs. There's no installation process, it just runs. Now, in order to access the CSIS server, you have to again type csis.svsu.edu, and we want to use SSH like this. Click open, and it brings up the prompt. You type in your user ID, you type in your password, just the same as it was before. And here, let me make this a little bit bigger. To make the screen bigger in Putty, what you can do is you can click this little icon for the Putty here, go to Change Settings, Appearance, Change, and then maybe increase the font to 20 and apply that. Now it gives you a nice big screen. It's a little bit easier to read. If you type the word clear, it will clear your screen. And if I do ls to list files, you can see that I have the HelloWorld directory there. Now if I do change directory to the HelloWorld, which is cd HelloWorld, you have to type the capital letters correctly too, don't forget about that. And then I have navigated to that subdirectory. That's how we say that. We navigated to that subdirectory. If I do ls, it will list the files in that subdirectory, which is the HelloWorld.java program. If I type cat HelloWorld.java, cat is just a way of printing out the file so you can see what it looks like. So this is cat. Think of it like print. It's catenate, but print. So now I can see that it is in fact the Hello World file. Great. Now what I want to do is I want to compile it. I always have to compile a Java program before I can use it. So to compile it, we just type javac and then the name of the program .java. So hello world.java. If I compile it, I should get no response. That means there's no bugs. In Linux, no news is good news. So there is the Hello World compiled. To run it, I type java, Java, and Hello World without the Java extension. And then there it is. It prints Hello World. If you want to see, there's actually two files here now. There's the HelloWorld.java, which is the source code, and there's the HelloWorld.class, which is the object code. We will talk more about that in future lessons, but for now, all you have to worry about is the source code, HelloWorld.java. Okay, so now you've seen how to use Structorizer and how to install it and how to write your Hello World program. You've seen how to use NPP FTP to take the Hello World program and copy it over to the CSIS server, and you've seen how to print the results on the CSIS server using Javac to compile it and Java to run it. The next thing we're going to show is how to use, I think we'll show how to use the program to do a sum of digits, and we'll learn some more lessons as we go along. Hopefully that's helpful. See you next lesson.